In this episode, we're going to talk about two things: books and marriage prep. I lied. 3. Jesus. Let's do this.
Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. I can let me try. Ooh, I can sit. And I can put my food down. That's nice. That's fancy.
Okay. Book number 1. Wait. What do you think? This isn't where we're normally at, is it? That's because it's my apartment. I'm liking it. I'm liking my new table. I have a place to sit. I'm sitting. This is a new development. Before there was no place to sit, I'd be sitting on the floor. So we're moving up in the world. That's great. Now, I apologize that there isn't a ton of Catholic stuff behind me. Eventually there will be. But for right now there isn't. So we're going to have to just put Jesus in our minds. The first book, as I was saying, Saints of the Roman Calendar. I came across this treasure when I was in the basement of my church, and there was a whole pile of donation books. And I said, "Are these books free?" And the campus minister said, "No, those are being donated to the church, not to you." And he said, "But honestly, we don't want to sort through all of them, and you can take one if you want." And I said, "Thank you very much." And I took this. Now, I want to go to today. Today is May 18th. If it isn't May 18th, you're wrong, because it's May 18th in my world. And the saint of the Roman calendar on May 18th is Saint John I. This pope died of starvation and thirst in jail at Ravenna, Italy, as a result of imprisonment by the Arian king Theodoric. What an intro for this guy. All right. Let's see. Historical note, message and relevance. All right. 2 pastoral accomplishments deserve special mention: the definitive fixing of the date of Easter, and his promotion of the Roman chant, which led to the development of Gregorian chant. That's pretty cool. God, our Father, rewarder of all who believe, hear our prayers as we celebrate the martyrdom of Pope John. Help us to follow him in loyalty to the faith. Book number 1. Book number 2, you should recognize this. It's a Bible. For all you Protestants out there, it's thicker than the Bible that you have, and that's because it has all of the books. You took some out, just so you know. Let's read a little bit of Jesus, kids. Mark 10, marriage and divorce. The Pharisees approached and asked, they approached Jesus, if you didn't know, "Is it lawful for a husband to divorce his wife?" They were testing him. He said to them in reply, "What did Moses command you?" And they replied, "Moses permitted him to write a bill of divorce and dismiss her." But Jesus told them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts, he wrote you this commandment. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female." See, one of my other videos, I was talking about male and female. Here's one of those areas where it very clearly says male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, no human being must separate. In the house, the disciples again questioned him about this. He said to them, whoever divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery against her. And if she divorces her husband and marries another, she commits adultery. Well, doesn't get much clearer than that, folks. Now, of course, we could nuance everything to death, but we're not. I hope that you don't take offense to my sarcastic tone. It was hilarious today. I went back and I checked the last video that I made that you guys all watched, and at one point when I was talking about doing some more scripture, I said something like, if you don't want to hear more scripture or from the Bible, well, you can just turn me off. Well, I can go back and see in the video where people turn me off. And one of you did. One of you turned off the video after I said, if you don't want to hear about scripture, then you can just turn off the video. I got to give it to you. I'm impressed. You did it. You should listen to scripture, though. That's good for you. All right. Book number 3. Witness to Love, a couple's guide to gearing up for a lifelong journey. Aww. Isn't that cute? This is the book. Kind of a book? Yeah. It's a thin book. Workbook, even better. This is the workbook that my fiance and I are working through with our mentor couple as part of marriage prep. Now, it's different per parish and diocese, but where I'm at, excuse me, I'm getting a phone call. Oh, look at that. It's my fiance. Okay. Where were we? Something about marriage. We were talking about this workbook. What about this workbook? Oh, yeah. So each parish does marriage prep a little different. In our parish, we are paired up with a mentor couple who we work through this workbook with over the course of 6 different meetings. We go through a chapter of the book. And we do some work, my fiance and I, we do some work ahead of time, reading through, I'll just show you. There's a story that we go through. Well, there's an intro, then we read a cute little story that exemplifies what the chapter's about, and then it'll give you some things that you should probably work on, or some traps that a lot of people find themselves falling into later in their marriage that they didn't know that they had been bad habits they'd been doing, and then you evaluate where you're at right now on these scales, and then that's a lot of what you talk about with the mentor couple in the meeting. And we have an awesome mentor couple. We are now going to be meeting them for chapter 4, and they're just awesome. They have 2 kids, and they're a beautiful family, and we're just so blessed to have them as an example. I don't come from a Catholic background, and Monica's really been just on fire for the faith, and that really took off late high school, college, and so it's just so beneficial to be able to have another couple to look to as an example of, yes, this is good, this is healthy, this is beautiful, and this is a sacrament. This couple's marriage is a sacrament that they're pulling from, and it's giving them such graces, and that exists. That is not some myth. That is very real. That happy marriages are a thing. That they're what we're called to, if we're called to marriage, and that having that example is so important, because my parents are divorced, and my dad's parents are divorced, and there's just so much brokenness, so much hurt, and the family has been broken apart in our society. And it has crumbled before our eyes in the last 50 years. And so those examples to look to of what good marriages look like, and that is so important, because it isn't just everywhere that you see that. And it is an important reminder that it exists, because you don't see it around you that often. So that's how our parish does it. I don't know what it'll be like where you are when you get married. I know somebody I was talking to over here in Grand Rapids Diocese said that they had a little bit different of an experience. They just mostly talked with a priest, and then the way he described it was something like a director of faith formation rather than a couple. But it just so happens that the husband of our mentor couple is the director of faith formation at the parish. So we got the cream of the crop. If he doesn't know how to mentor a couple, that's a problem, because he's in charge of it. But no, this has just been awesome. And upcoming will be a meeting with our priest who will be marrying us, and he's an awesome dude. We already met with him once about this for actual, this is a marriage prep meeting, but we meet with him just all the time because he's a cool dude, and it's good, and we should have friendships between priests and lay people. They're not just some person behind a curtain. We should be friends with our priests. So I'm really getting a lot of that friendship, because he's taught me a lot. And again, he's a younger gentleman, in his 30s, and the mentor couple, they're in their, I believe, mid-20s. So it's awesome to see these more younger examples of people truly living their vocations, because it's more relatable. The husband of the mentor couple went to Michigan State, and he lived in the men's house, and he was a member of the parish. And I just graduated from Michigan State, was living at the men's house, and went to the same parish. So to be able to kind of walk in his footsteps is really helpful, because you have an example of somebody that lived very similarly to you, and so it makes it much more relatable. This isn't something that some far-off holy person does in Rome. No. That's not what we're called to. So, get married, have lots of children, or don't, and be consecrated. But live your vocation. God bless.